Hello, Laura here. I have come to you today to continue talking about the Four Agreements by Don Miquel Ruiz. In previous videos that I have done, I have talked about this amazing book that I got at an event that I went to, and it's literally changed my life, and I really felt compelled to share it with you, the audience. And I appreciate you taking the time to listen to this. I know your time is valuable. In the previous videos, I talked about the Four Agreements, and those being 1, be impeccable with your word. Agreement 2, don't take anything personally. Agreement 3, don't make assumptions. And agreement 4, always do your best. So now I'm going to talk today about breaking your old agreements that you have to be able to bring those new agreements in, to be able to break those old agreements of programming that we all have in our little noggins here. So this is breaking old agreements. Everyone talks about freedom, but what is freedom? You know, we live in a free society here in the United States of America, but are we really free? I don't think so. True freedom has to do with our spirit. It is a freedom to be who we really are. Who stops us from being free? You know, we're really easy to blame the government, or our parents, the weather, our religion. We blame God. Who really stops us from being free? Right here. Right here. We stop ourselves. You get married, we say that you lose our freedom. We get divorced and we still aren't free. What stops us? Why can't we be ourselves? We have forgotten what freedom really means. Who comes to mind when you think about free? What about a child, a 2 to 3 year old child? We find these little humans. They do whatever they want to. They're completely wild. They're like a flower, a tree, or an animal that has not been domesticated. They're just wild. We find that most of the time, these little human beings have a big smile on their face, and they're having fun. They're playing, they're having joy. They're not afraid to play. They don't worry about the past. They don't care about the future. They only live in the present moment. Very young children are not afraid to express love and how they feel. As children, we are not afraid of the future or ashamed of the past. But what happens to us adults? From the point of view of the victim, we can say that something bad or sad has happened to us. And from the point of view of the warrior, we can say that whatever happens to us is normal. That's just life, right? What has happened is that we have the book of law, the big judge, and the victim who rules our lives. We are no longer free because the judge, the victim, and the belief system don't allow us to be who we really are. Once our minds have been programmed with all the garbage, the lies, we are no longer happy. This chain of training from human to human, from generation to generation, is perfectly normal in human society. You don't need to blame your parents for teaching you to be like them. What else could they teach you but what they know? And if they abused you, it was due to their own domestication, their own fears, their own beliefs. They did the best that they could. They had no control over the programming that they received. So they couldn't have behaved any differently. There is no need to blame your parents or anyone who abused you in your life, including yourself. But it is time to stop the abuse. The real you is still a little child who never grew up. Sometimes that little child comes out when you're having fun or playing, when you're doing the things that you love to do, playing the piano, dancing, writing poetry, running, playing games. These are the happiest moments of your life, right? Why don't we do it every day? You are childlike. We need to play. But there is something that changes all of that childness. We call them responsibilities. Gotta go to work. You have to go to school. You have to make a living. You have to do the laundry. You have to take the garbage out. You have to. Right? If you watch children when they're playing adults, you'll see their little faces change. Let's pretend I'm a lawyer. And right away their face changes to a stern, or a teacher. The adult face takes over. We are still children, but we have lost our freedom. We turn the adult on and we suppress our child. The freedom we are looking for is the freedom to be ourselves, to express ourselves. Most of the time we do things just to please others, just to be accepted by others, rather than living our lives to please ourselves. The worst part of it that most of us are not even aware that we are not free. The problem with most people is that they live their lives and never discover that the judge and the victim rule their mind, and therefore they don't have a chance to be free. The first step towards personal freedom is awareness. Awareness is always the first step, because if you are not aware, there's nothing you can change. If you are not aware that your mind is full of wounds and emotional poison, you cannot begin to clean and heal the wounds, and you will continue to suffer. There is no reason to suffer. With awareness, you can rebel and say, that's enough. You can look for a way to heal and transform your personal dream. The dream of the planet is just a dream. It is not even real. If you go into the dream and start challenging your beliefs, you will find that most of the beliefs that guided you into the wounded mind are not even true. They're all based on lies, the news that we watch, the gossip that we listen to. It just keeps getting passed on, and we're all getting poisoned with these lies. You will find that you suffered all those years of drama for nothing. Why? Because the belief system that you put inside your mind is based on lies. That is why it's important for you to master your own dream. Your life is the manifestation of the dream. It is an art. We're all artists of our own lives. We should be in a play. Look at our lives as a play, and we're the star of the play. You can change your life anytime if you aren't enjoying, and you can change your life anytime if you aren't enjoying your dream, your current dream. There's this book was based on the Toltec wisdom, and the Toltec was a people thousands of years ago. And there's 3 masteries that lead people to become Toltecs. First is the mastery of awareness, which we just talked about. This is to be aware of who we really are with all the possibilities. The second is the mastery of transformation, how to change, how to be free of domestication. And the third is the mastery of intent. Intent is that part of the life that makes transformation of energy possible. It is the one living being that seamlessly encompasses all energy, of what we call God. And if God makes you uncomfortable with that word, your spirit. We're all filled with spirit. But whatever you want to call it, it's yours. Intent is life itself. It is unconditional love. The mastery of intent is therefore the mastery of love. When we talk about the Toltec path to freedom, we find that they have an entire map for breaking free of domestication. They compare the judge and the victim and the belief system to a parasite that invades the human mind. It's like a monster with many heads. The Toltec point of view, all humans who are domesticated are sick. They are sick because they're the parasite that controls the mind and controls the brain. The food for the parasite is the negative emotions that come from fear. Just feeds that monster. The judge, the victim, and the belief system fit this description very well. So the judge, the victim, and the belief system are equal to that parasite that the Toltecs talk about. The Toltecs believe that the parasite, the judge, the victim, and the belief system has control of your mind. It controls your personal dream. It survives on the emotions that come from fear and thrives on drama and suffering. The freedom we seek is to use our own mind and our body to live our own life instead of the life of the belief system. We have to break free of the programming of what's out there in the world. We have just two choices. One choice is to keep living the way we are, to surrender to the judge and the victim, to keep living in the dream of the planet. The second choice is to do what we do as children. When parents try to domesticate us, we can rebel and say no. We can declare war against the parasite, a war against the judge and the victim, a war for our independence, a war for the right to use our mind and our own brain. Choosing this path gives us at least the dignity of rebellion, and ensures that we will not be helped as victims of our own whimsical emotions or the poisonous emotions of others. At best, being a warrior gives us an opportunity to transcend the dream of the planet and to change our personal dream to a dream that we call heaven. Again, it doesn't have to be the religious heaven, it's your own personal heaven. Where we are free to love and to be who we really are. We can reach heaven while we are alive. We don't have to wait until we die. God is always present, and the kingdom of heaven is everywhere. But first, we need to have the eyes and the ears to see and hear that truth. We need to be free of that parasite. The parasite can be compared to a monster with 1,000 heads. Every head of the parasite is one of the fears that we have, kind of like Medusa. You remember Medusa? If we want to be free, we have to destroy the parasite. We have to face each one of our fears one by one. We don't have to face them all at the same time. Just one at a time, and we'll get a little bit better each day. Every time we face one of our fears, we are a little more free. A little bit more free than we were before that. A second approach is to stop feeding the parasite. If we don't give the parasite any food, we kill the parasite by starvation. To do this, we have to gain control of our emotions. We have to refrain from fueling the emotions that come from fear. This is easy to say, but it's very, very difficult to do. It is because the judge and the victim control our mind. A third solution is called the initiation of the dead. This is a little heavy, this one, I'm going to be I'll be doing another video tomorrow to kind of go more specifically into it. The basis of it is the initiation of the dead is found in many traditions and esoteric schools around the world. It's Egypt, India, Greece. This is a symbolic death which kills the parasite without harming our physical body. when we die, symbolically, the parasite has to die. This is the faster way to do it, but again, it's pretty heavy. And we need to have a great deal of courage to face the angel of death. So I'm going to leave it at that. I know that was a lot, but I will finish up in my next video, which will go into those solutions a little bit more in depth. So I hope that you got some value from this. I really appreciate you, taking the time to listen to this. I do believe that the four agreements is life-changing, and at least it changed my life. So I just really still, again, felt compelled to share this with the world. Okay, well, you have a great day, and until next time, bye-bye.